Summer is often filled with travel, and one of the hardest things about that is all of the change that it causes in your habits and in your routine. So today, we're talking about week-long or longer vacations and staying consistent. Get ready for tips and mindset shifts that I personally use to stay healthy while being able to fully enjoy vacation. Hey friend, welcome to the Tough Love Mom podcast. You are here because deep down, you know that you were made to do hard things. Whether hard for you is getting motivated, losing weight, testing your mental and physical limits, simply taking control of your health, or all of the above, you want to learn the right way to approach all of this while also getting encouraged along the way. My name is Liz, and I've been where you are. I gained a lot of weight in my pregnancies, but with consistency in the right habits and a realistic mindset, I lost the weight sustainably and became the healthiest I'd ever been. We are capable of so much more than we think. You are not a hot mess mom that rides the struggle bus. You're here because you're different, and my mission is to help you realize just how capable you are. If you're ready to take control of your health, challenge your mindset, and be inspired by moms who have done hard things, you are in the right place. You're about to transform your life, my friend. Get pumped up. It's tough love time. We recently got back from about a week and a half long vacation. It was a wedding, and then we went to the beach for a little bit, and we actually have another one coming up before summer is over. And every single summer, we have at least 1 week-ish long trip, and I've stayed consistent in a balanced, can still enjoy vacation type of way for years, no matter when we do this. So let's talk tips and then some mindset shifts that will no doubt help you stay consistent on longer trips out of town as well. So first off, in each category, tips and mindset shifts, I'm going to hit on fitness, nutrition, and then I'm going to give you a mindset tip, and I'm going to talk about your routine when it comes to mindset shifts. So fitness, my absolute favorite tip is to plan ahead. And I feel like a broken record when I talk about this in any type of capacity when it comes to your routine changing, whether you're going out of town or it's the holidays and you've got people coming or whatever is going on, you moving. I mean, I've faced this a bunch in the last year. You need to plan ahead if you want to stay consistent. And this is not this big, okay, I need to sit down for an hour and figure it out. It's simply saying, okay, I'm going to look at the week that we're out of town. I'm going to see what kind of resources I'm working with. Like, is there a gym? Is it just this beach house? Is there going to be equipment there? What is that situation? And just pre-decide what you're going to do, how many days you're going to do it, and let that be it. And remember that, and this is kind of like a bonus to this, your routine, your fitness routine specifically, does not have to stay the same when you're on vacation. If you're like in the midst of, I was in this last 10-ish day trip when we were out of town, I was in the midst of, I'm working on strength stuff right now. So I'm doing a strength program, and I just took the week off from it. I was like, all right, I'm going to do my one day before we left, and we left on a Thursday. So I didn't do the second day that week. And I took the whole week off when we were at the beach, and I picked it right back up when we got home. And that's okay. You can do that. Like, type A perfectionists out there, like recovering me, know that you don't have to do this stuff to a T. All you need to do is plan ahead, figure out what you're going to have. We spent the beach time with my parents at the beach and my side of the family. And so I actually asked my dad if he could bring some of his dumbbells from home, his 25-pound dumbbells. And I just used those one of the days we were there. And the rest of the time I walked. I went to this like outdoor workout group with him. I just changed it up that week, and I planned ahead and knew what I was doing, and it was perfect. So plan ahead with your fitness. Know what you're going to have, what you're going to do, and how many days you're going to do it. And don't overdo it. Don't overplan. Don't try to be perfect with what you've been doing at home, because the circumstances are different. So just plan ahead, be flexible. It'll all work out. Nutrition. Let's talk about my favorite tip with nutrition. When you're out of town, on vacation, whatever it is, keep normal what you can and don't stress about the rest. So for example, because this one best works with examples, at my house, we have eggs with some sort of fruit that provides a lot of fiber and nutrients and whatnot, and some sort of grain, whether it's oatmeal or toast or Kodiak pancakes. We love to make like a really hearty breakfast that has a protein, it's got healthy fats, it's got carbohydrates, and also lots of just fruits. And I also put spinach in our eggs. So we have a really well-rounded breakfast every single day. And when we're out of town, I try to still provide that in whatever capacity that looks like. So if we're at a hotel, or back in the day when Casey and I would travel without kids, if we were like on vacation at a resort or something, I would get eggs, I would get fruit, maybe a carbohydrate like some sort of toast or oatmeal if I was feeling it. And I've always done that. Keep normal what you can. If you tend to eat at meals like a certain combination of protein with something full of fiber and full of nutrients like vegetables and fruits or grains, whole grains, whatever it is, try to keep those combinations similar as you can. And again, don't stress about the rest. Keep normal what you can with your nutrition and don't stress about the rest. If you're going out of town to see family and you're driving, bring snacks, bring what you're used to eating. And then when you're going out to restaurants or when you're having a home cooked meal by your grandma, just eat what's there. Enjoy it. Don't stress about it, but do keep normal what you can. Because a lot of the times, mindset wise, we're like, oh, we're going on vacation, I'm just going to go off the rails and I'll get back on track when I get home. When you don't necessarily have to go all the way to that end of the spectrum. Because I think we have this mindset where it's one way or the other. I'm either not going to enjoy vacation because I'm going to eat the way I do at home and I'm going to be perfect and I'm not going to cheat at all. I don't even like that word in the realm of nutrition. Or it's the other end of the spectrum of I'm going to completely let go and worry about it when I get home. When you can meet yourself in the middle. You don't have to be one way or the other. You can keep normal what you can, not perfect, keep normal what you can, as normal as possible, and don't stress about the rest, okay? That's my nutrition tip. Now, mindset, this is my personal favorite. Be mentally where you are. And I think this is my favorite because I've been working on this a lot the last year or two, but slow it down, like slow down every moment that you can by simply soaking it in. You don't need to feel this rush to do the next thing or the next to-do item because that's not the point of where you're at. And yes, if you're like out of town doing stuff with family and it's for a different purpose than like resting and relaxing together, that's different. But we're talking about vacation here. We're talking about summer trips, whether it's 5 days or 7 days or 10 days, whether it's with family or on your own with your husband. Slow it down. Don't feel the need to do so much and simply take those mental breaks where you can just soak in where you are, what you're doing. You don't constantly need to be consuming social media or a book or just sit there, just soak it in. Now let's talk about some mindset shifts because I think that one kind of perfectly set us up for the rest of this. I'm going to do the same thing as the tips, a fitness mindset shifts, one for nutrition and one for your routine. So when it comes to fitness, rest is key for progress. And I'm just talking in general here. If you want to see progress in your physique, how your body looks, if you want to see progress on the scale, you cannot work out 7 days a week, an hour a day. You can't even do it, 7 days a week, 30 minutes a day, 365 days a year. It's just not healthy for your body. Rest is actually very important. I'm not saying to be a literal beach bum and immobile most of the day, like walk places, move your body, but you don't have to do a full week of the program that you're following. Or if you're at a hotel that has a gym, you don't have to hit the gym 5 days a week. You can if you want to. Some people just like that routine and that stability. Some people like the mobility that it gives them. I know me personally, I have to move in some capacity every day, whether it's waking up and stretching for 20 minutes or going for a walk. I'm specifically talking about vacation because my back gets really stiff if I don't move. But you don't have to have something planned every single day that you're out of town. Do 2 days if you want at the gym and then go for walks the rest of the time. If you're used to being pretty intense, a week of rest will be really good for you actually. Like a week where maybe you're used to working out a total of 4 hours a week. If you scale that down to 2 hours of movement, it's going to be really good for your body and for your progress, contrary to what your brain might tell you. So Rest is important for progress, and what a great way to take advantage of vacation by allowing yourself to rest a little bit more from your normal fitness routine. And bonus, I'm going to give you a bonus little mindset shift here around fitness because I love you. The purpose of working out is not to burn off whatever you eat, ever, including and especially on vacation. It's just not, okay? So there's so many other health benefits to fitness that long haul matter so much more than burning off what you ate. Like, you have got to remove that thought and that belief from your mindset. That dessert that you're having every single night on vacation does not necessitate that you go work out the next day on vacation, okay? Like, drop that thought from your mind. It is not why you're moving your body. Some of the other benefits that you might experience from fitness that honestly I want you to start thinking about daily, not just when you're on vacation, but all the time, is you're going to get more mental clarity. You're going to have better mobility when you're like 80. It's a literal form of therapy. There was just a study that came out that said certain forms of exercise can be just as relieving of mildly depressive symptoms as medication. So literally, it's a form of therapy. It's for your mental health. Again, it helps your physical health, your longevity, your ability to get down on the floor with your kids. I mean, talk about benefits. It's so much more than burning off what you eat. So drop that, tough love. Drop that from your mindset and your thoughts. Every time you think about that, I want you to just be like, nope, Liz said, I'm not allowed to believe that anymore, and I'm not going to allow myself to continue to fall for that belief because it's not true. This is not why I'm moving my body today. Okay? Okay. Whew, got that out. All right, nutrition. Let's talk about a little mindset shift there. This is good too. This can serve you all day, any day. And you can start this one now. You don't just have to wait for a vacation to take this mindset shift on. Intuitive eating, if you've heard of it, it's all good and well, but I want to talk more so about educated eating. It's like a different take on intuitive eating, and I personally think it's a little bit better. It's how I like to approach how I eat, like on a bigger umbrella concept, like the overarching way of me approaching things. But what I mean by this, by educated eating, is not book smarts. Thank God. I'm definitely not telling you to go study up on nutrition before vacation. Promise. That sounds like a really good way to be stressed all week, doesn't it? Like, ooh, there might be a lot of this or that. And like, ooh, nope, that does not sound like a fun way to spend vacation. So what you do need to study to be an educated eater is you. Starting today, you can start noticing every meal, every snack, how you feel after eating certain things. And this is simply taking like a 5-second break. We can do that, moms. We can do that. 5-second break to pause, like 10, 15 minutes, an hour after you eat, and just say, okay, how did that make me feel? How did that lunch make me feel? How did that 3 p.m. coffee make me feel at 4 p.m.? You know, things like this. You can notice, how does your stomach feel? Like physically, how are you digesting things? How does it feel inside of your stomach? How are your energy levels? How's your mental clarity? Are you able to focus? Do you feel like all you can think about is how full you feel right now? How's your mind? Time of day. How are you feeling at the specific time of day? Maybe I have this yogurt special that I love to eat at night. It's like kind of my nighttime treat. It's literally Greek yogurt, honey, peanut butter, all swirled together. And then I put frozen blueberries, sometimes banana, it depends on what we have in it. It's like a frozen yogurt, peanut butter, and jelly. You're welcome. Enjoy the treat. It's so good. But my body would feel kind of weird if I had that like midday or even in the morning, just because of the way my body digests that. And so that's just like, and kind of how it fills me up and everything. So notice time of day. Even your ability to fall asleep later in the day can be affected by what types of food you're eating. And all of this is so unique to you. So just knowing and noticing your own physical and mental response and even emotional response to what you just ate, whether it was 10, 30, 60 minutes ago, or even a couple hours ago, you can start to notice that. And I think on vacation, that's one of the best approaches to take, because you might be like, ooh, okay, today we have a lot planned. And, those waffles and the French toast sound phenomenal, and I just want to eat them today. I'm going to be here tomorrow. I can have that for breakfast tomorrow, because I know like a lot of that syrup and those pancakes and everything is going to make me feel sluggish. And I want to be like alert and aware and feeling really good for this huge day of outings that we have, right? Just like thinking ahead, knowing how things make your body feel and responding accordingly. That's educated eating. And that's one of the best mindset shifts you can take in life in general, but especially on vacation. Now, lastly, a routine mindset shift. And this totally ties into the tip that I gave you around mindset, but moms do a lot every day, right? We know that. I don't need to say it again. We do a lot every day. And I saw this meme about vacation, and it was like, vacation with kids is just parenting in a different location. And it's totally true. But the meme or reel, whatever it was fairly negative toned, which I don't love. But like I said, it's true. There's a lot of truth in it, right? Vacation with kids is just parenting in a different location. And as moms, that can make us feel like we have to constantly be doing and caring for others and doing all the things, right? So let go of that. And I know you're like, Liz, it is not that easy. You can say it. It's harder to do. I know. I'm in these shoes every time we take one of these week-long vacations, quote vacations, right? Parenting in another location. It's totally true. But the mindset shift that I want you to make is to literally mentally take a step back. And I'm not saying to not change a diaper when it needs changing, but do less mentally. Take a step back. Like I'm very visual. I always have these pictures in my head of what I'm talking about. And what I'm envisioning is like your literal field of vision getting wider, because like you know how on an iPhone, when you're taking a picture, if you zoom out with your fingers, it like widens the scope of the camera and the picture can take. It's like doing that, but on what your vision is, what you're seeing with your eyes. I want you to do that mentally. And if you're like me, this is where it's hard. And you wake up on vacation like, okay, today I want to work out by just going for a walk, a simple walk. I want to play at the pool with my kids. I want to build a sandcastle with them. And I want to read a few pages of my book. That's too much. That is too much to wake up and be like, I want to do all these things. And they're all coming from a good place and a good motivation. But it's important that we take a step back and just do less. Let the day come to us instead of us attacking the day. Because we can do that when we get home. We do it all day when we get home. Take a rest from that, okay? Pick one thing. Pick one of those awesome things to do and just let the rest happen as it does. Now, all of these tips and mindset shifts are great, even if you can only focus on one of them. But to be honest, the ability to implement them all or most of them when you are out of town can happen, but it can really only happen when you're working from a solid foundation in your habits. Because I talked about planning ahead with your fitness, right? And keeping normal what you can when it comes to food and just enjoying the rest. But if you're not consistent in your workouts before you leave, or you're eating a lot more processed foods than whole foods on a day-to-day basis, none of this really matters. So you need to build that foundation before you start implementing these things, because this is kind of like the next step, like the step 2 on approaching your journey. Because when we go out of town, we're in a different routine, we're in a different environment, and that changes what we're going to do. What it really does is just reinforce what your habits already are, whether your habits are productive for your journey or detrimental to the goals that you have. Whichever type of habits you currently have, that's what's going to be reinforced a little bit when you're out of town, on vacation, outside of your normal environment. So you have to be working from a solid foundation that's built on true consistency in one habit at a time. And you can build that foundation with starting point school. So these tips and these mindset shifts are a lot easier to implement and live by when you do go out of town. And I want you to keep these lessons from today for a long time. Like, this is not a summer 2023 tips and mindset shifts. These are like lifetime lessons. You can use these at Christmas when you go out of town. You can use these on spring break if you start doing spring break trips with your fam. You can do these next summer. These are lifelong. These are going to last. But the only way to make change in your journey is to make it sustainable by picking one habit, getting consistent in it, and then moving on to the next one. That's how you build that foundation so you can do stuff Not that you should wait to go out of town until you have that in place. Please don't. But when you do have that opportunity, what you fall back to, what your baseline is with your habits, is a really healthy, whole, well-rounded place. So you can learn how to do this in Starting Point School. I walk you through a very simple 3-step process where at first you get really honest with yourself, fun, and you are journaling. You are reflecting on why are you at where you're at right now? What do you struggle with most? What's not so hard for you that you can lean into? What are some strengths of yours when it comes to this journey? And when you reflect, when you go through that process, which honestly is the hardest part of Starting Point School, because it's not fun to be honest with yourself all the time, but it's insanely beneficial. The moms that have gone through Starting Point School, I think step 1 is like what they love to hate, because it is so insightful. Some moms have never done this reflection piece. And when you start to put the pieces together of why you have the habits that you do, it is life-changing. And talk about a launching point for changing your journey. I'm chills talking about it. So self-honesty is step 1. And at the end of that, what you come to realize is which portion of your journey you are going to focus on first based on your schedule, your past experiences, and what your goals are right now, whether that's fitness, nutrition, or sleep in your routine. Because it's one of those 3 that's going to be the biggest pain point for you. That is, I'm sure you could kind of deep down figure it out right now, but we really suss out, is that the phrase? I don't know. The process and like where you're at so we can figure out what exactly that starting point should be. And step 2 is, what's your starting point? Let's pick it. And from there, you get equipped in step 2 to make sure that you know how to attack this habit, whether it falls under fitness or nutrition or your routine, so it can actually become a consistent part of your life. And this is where the staying consistent piece, this is where it takes a little bit longer. You can learn all of this in a week. You can learn the whole Starting Point process in a week in Starting Point School. But step 3 is where you learn how to stay consistent, where you learn how to talk to your family and not make this something separate from what you do as a mother, but how it weaves into your life, how to talk with your husband about your goals. You get to learn how to be resourced, how to find accountability, how you're going to get continual support from the Tough Love Mom Co. as you take this journey on. So if you want to know more about Starting Point School so you can start building this foundation before you go out of town again, or just in general, because you know you've tried a lot of things before and you're just frustrated that these changes aren't lasting, that you're trying to get healthy, you're trying to eat better, but it's just not lasting, join Starting Point School, because it's in there that we really dissect all of the struggles and the roadblocks and take them on one at a time so they can actually change. Okay, we're not going to start working out, eating healthy, and getting up at 5 a.m. on day 1. Not happening. Maybe you'll get to that point if that's your goal, 6 months from now. But this is where you learn the process to get there down the road and actually get there in a way that will stick for life. So head to startingpointschool.co. Make sure you get signed up today. It's open, it's available, and I cannot wait to see you in there. If you have a week-long vacation coming up, I really just hope and pray that today's episode encouraged you and that you took something away from it. Let me know. You can shoot me a message or tag me on social media or show up in our Tough Love Mom Squad and just let me know what helped today. I love hearing that. Leave a review. That's an even better spot for me to actually see it, because I'll for sure see it if you leave a review, and just let me know how today's episode helped you. And I will chat with you next time, Mama. Go get after it. Before you go, thank you for spending this time with me on the Tough Love Mom podcast. If this episode encouraged you in any way, the number 1 way you can thank me is to leave a review letting me know how the show has impacted you. Then send this episode to another mom friend, or take a screenshot, post it on social media, and tag me so I can personally thank you for helping me on this journey to impact thousands of moms. I'm so grateful to be on this journey with you, sister. Until next time, get after it.